Hello, and welcome to another segment of Save Our Earth, right here on CP24. Today, we have a special segment called The Impact of Climate Change on Plants. I am Ali Zavvy, here to bring you the latest news. There are a little bit of known facts how climate change affects plants. Changes to our climate, like increasing temperatures, are happening more quickly now than ever before. Plants will have to adapt to new climate conditions faster than ever. Higher temperatures cause heat stress in plants, meaning they grow less and produce less crops. Sometimes, plants may not reproduce at all, since excessive heat, sterility of their pollen, which is the male reproductive system. Reduced rainfall can cause droughts in crops, and plants will unable to survive without water. Example, in Africa, there is not enough rainfall, so crops die out, and the people in Africa are left with no food. Increased rainfall, on the other hand, results in floods. Too much water in soil causes plants' roots to rot, and heavy rainfall damages young plants. One benefit to the increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide level is, since carbon dioxide is needed for plants to perform photosynthesis, which is the process of converting carbon dioxide and water from sunlight into sugar and emits oxygen back into the atmosphere, it allows species, including us, to live on Earth. Also, scientific experiments show that increasing carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere leads to an increase in plant growth. Now, you may think this is just small, but countries all over the world, including Canada, have its contributions to help climate change. Canada is a vast country with a diverse climate, which makes impacts of climate change more important. The Government of Canada supports efforts to protect the environment by developing policies and programs, conducting scientific research, and working with other government departments, the provinces, territories, and international partners to fight against climate change. Now, there's one federation called the Canadian Wildlife Federation. Across Canada, the government, industries, schools, communities, and individuals are taking action to help fix the rising issue of climate change. Efforts including improving management of forests and wetlands, supporting climate change and atmospheric research, and developing new technologies like solar power. Now, National Tree Day, held by the Canadian Wildlife Federation, takes place between September 23rd and the 29th. It is a celebration for all Canadians to appreciate the benefits trees provide us. On this day, you can plant trees in urban areas to help keep our cities green. Now, I have here with me David Suzuki. The goal of the David Suzuki Foundation is to ensure that Canada is doing their fair share to avoid dangerous climate change and is on track to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. David Suzuki gives us simple ways we at home can help keep our Earth's climate intact. Did you know the fruits and vegetables we eat are also affected in a negative way by climate change? Example, droughts can cause agriculture crops to die, leaving us with a little supply of fruits and vegetables. Global warming will cause rising temperatures, and Canadian plants are not yet adapted to high temperatures. How can we help maintain crops? Several factors contribute to our food's climate impact, like how much energy is used to produce it and how far it has to travel to get to us. According to David Suzuki, we can all improve the energy and gas wasted on transporting our fruits and vegetables. 1. Buy locally locally grown organic fruits and vegetables. 2. Do not waste food. Eat the most perishable items first. Do not rip off fruit stems, because once living cells are broken, microorganisms begin to grow, allowing food to rot. So keep produce whole as long as possible. Do not wash produce until ready to eat. Moisture encourages decomposition and mold growth. And also, grow some of your own fruits and vegetables right in your own backyard. For more information, visit www.davidsuzuki.ca. I'm here with Farmer Joe. Because of rapid increase in climate change, farmers must change their lifestyle on how they maintain and grow crops. Agriculture is strongly influenced by weather and climate. One benefit Farmer Joe told me is that increased temperatures will equal longer seasons for growing. One disadvantage is while temperatures are rising, a lack of moisture will be present in soil, causing high rates of evaporation. These factors will result in droughts, meaning plants will not survive and eventually die off. Dry temperatures also result in a lot of insects and weeds. Farmer Joe said some things he must do now to reduce climate change to his crops are plant trees and shrubs to store carbon dioxide, convert traditional plowing practices, conservation cultivation crops, grow cover crops such as hay in the winter, let marginal lands rest, rotate crops to preserve the soil, plant vegetation with deeper roots to prevent soil erosion, and store manure as compost. Farmer Joe must take into consideration methods of growing crops so they can still grow our food without the harmful effects of climate change. Plant biodiversity is affected in negative ways by climate change. Biodiversity is the part of nature which includes the difference in genes among individuals and species. Biodiversity allows plants to survive if one species is destroyed. Several, even hundreds more will follow. Genetic diversity in agriculture enables crops to adapt to different environments and growing conditions. One example a recent study has shown is one species may have the ability to withstand droughts, and some plants can have the ability to grow in poor or rich soil. If the plant that has the ability to withstand droughts gets wiped out due to climate change, other plants will not be able to obtain the gene that allowed the other plants to survive a drought. So, now, if there is a drought, no plants will be able to survive through it. Ecosystems living on plants will also be affected in a negative way. With global warming on the rise and species decreasing, the chances for ecosystems adapting naturally are slim. If global warming continues to rise, rainfall patterns, storms, floods, and droughts will occur, causing rapid changes in plants worldwide. Plants are a species on its own, but living on them, like their leaves, are other species creating an ecosystem. If plants get damaged or is unable to survive, ecosystems living on the plant die or get damaged as well. Scientists identified new technologies such as solar power and wind turbines to help prevent global warming from increasing. Zero energy building and innovative clean energy production can halt greenhouse gas emissions and bring them to safer levels. Schools, hospitals, and commercial buildings are making their places more energy efficient. Try and find your own small ways to make your home a more energy efficient place. Like, turn down the heater a few degrees in the winter, or do not let your hot water run for long periods of time. Now, there's a scientific process that was discovered last month. A new study shows how plants interact with microbes to survive the effects of climate change. Drought stress affects microbes to drive plants to flower earlier and help plants grow and reproduce when faced with drought. Scientists conducted a multi-generational experiment that manipulated above and underground environmental factors while paying close attention to plant interactions with microbes in the soil. The experiment allowed scientists to discover microbes did most of the work in helping plants survive. That's all the time we have for today. I hope this segment taught you what is happening to our plants because of climate changes and encourage you to do your part to help. See you next time with our new segment all about wild animals. Done. Today we have Hello. Save our Earth. And from water. Nope.
Go. Go. And global warming. The things I do for science.